So there's been a lot of issues surrounding Halo Infinite, and it's been a pretty big problem. A lot of people have talked about their issues with the game, and as of today, the head of design over at 343, which is the company who makes Halo, announced that he would be leaving. So I'll read the tweet from him now. Today marks my last day at 343, Microsoft, and Halo. This journey has been filled with creating new worlds, platforms, and products from Xbox, Xbox Live to Halo. Hashtag Xbox, hashtag Halo, hashtag Game Dev. Most of all of it has been working alongside some of the most passionate and driven people in the industry that have impacted millions of players around the world. Thank you to all who have let me run alongside you in this amazing industry. And thank you to this community. If we did all the things we are capable of doing, we could literally astound ourselves. So there were a lot of interesting replies to this announcement, and I'm going to be reading 3 of them to you because I have opinions about all 3, and I think they just fit the situation really well. So let's get into those. Falling like flies, this studio, Infinite is doomed, lol. And yeah, there's been a lot of turmoil surrounding 343. Like I said, ever since the launch of this game and all the issues surrounding this game, whether it be gameplay or skins, microtransactions. Sounds like I said microtransactions, I meant micro. You know, the fact that everybody gets 50 XP for their matches, things of that nature, and it's just been a mess over there. So now we got a nice reply that says, appreciate everything, Jerry. Best of luck on your next gig, man. And this is clearly somebody who people have been a big fan of. A lot of people have praised him for his transparency. Now, from what I've seen, right, he seems like he does talk about a good amount of things. In fact, the guy was like, "Oh, I'm really gonna miss your honesty, and you were the last guy in gaming I trusted." And he was like, "Hey, there's a lot of people at 343 that are also working to have good games and good things in game. So don't just put all your focus on me and the fact that I'm leaving, because there are a lot of other people that do my job as well, or can do my job, and will step into that role. So Halo's going to be in good hands, essentially, is what I got from that." Now, there were some negative replies to his tweet, and I'm going to read probably the best one. It says, "Now that you've gone, do you think that the outraging pricing for Infinite Store will improve? Are you leaving voluntarily, being forced out as a scapegoat, or let go because of poor choices you made with Infinite?" So I really think this is a good question. Those last 2 tweets that I read to you, the one I just read and the one before, they're pretty indicative of how the replies were. They were pretty split down the middle. Like I said, this is the best one. I don't know why pricing would improve since he left. Obviously, we're talking about, like I said, you get 50 XP for per match, and sometimes the next level up might be like 4,000 away, and it might be easier for a person to level up using microtransactions, which it seems to some people that is the intent. That's why it's so hard to grind up, because they'd rather have you just buy and give them money, especially because Infinite is a game that is free to play. Are you leaving voluntarily, being forced out as a scapegoat, or let go because of your poor choices? This is something I'm pretty sure that he'll come out about one day, whether or not it was, hey, I felt like it was time for me to go. I didn't, feel like I needed to be there anymore. It just wasn't working for me. Or, hey, they kicked me out. They blamed it on me. Because I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say, like, oh, well, he's head of design. He designed how the levels were. Or he approved it. I don't know. But maybe there was somebody higher up that was like, hey, can we increase the prices? We want to increase, microtransactions, because at the end of the day, there are 2 goals mostly with most game companies. It's to make good games and to make good money. And people who run these game companies are trying to do both, right? And so with a game like this, sort of have to rely on microtransactions, especially when it's like a live service game such as Halo. It just they're really reliant on that. It feels almost like they're trying to be the next Fortnite, but just with not enough content and with so many problems that like it just doesn't work out. Like with all the different game modes and stuff, and how people just don't want to play game modes. Now I haven't played too much of Infinite, but I have, you know, watched a lot of people who have played Infinite and listened to their complaints. And something I've heard very often is that they're not satisfied with their multiplayer, which is a big alert with alert. I don't. Jeez, it's a big draw in when you have a live service game. It's like, hey, this is really fun. Like, or a lot of people are playing this. So it's part of Warzone's draw. I don't know why I used alert. That's really throwing me off. Anyway, that's what draws people into Warzone. Like, hey, a lot of people are playing this. A lot of people are enjoying this. This is a really fun game. To some people, you know, people have their complaints, but for the most part, people seem to enjoy it. And it doesn't seem like it's like that at Halo Infinite, and that might be playing a part into why Jerry Hook left. Now, as for Jerry Hook, I'm pretty sure, unless he just decides to retire from gaming, he'll get another job. Somebody was suggesting that he goes to Insomniac. That might be interesting. I'm pretty sure they have a head design over there already. I doubt they've had any turnover given the insane last couple of years they had with Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Just games of that nature, they just keep going up and up and up. So I doubt there's a lot of turnover there. So I don't know if he would want to work there, you know, working at not necessarily like a lesser position over there, but like a position that he wouldn't enjoy, basically. As for 343, I'm hoping that they can improve Halo Infinite, because I do think that it's a really cool game from the little I have played. I really think it's a game that looks good, you know, which pretty much every Halo game has looked good. I mean, even the older ones, they obviously don't graphically stand up, but they still looked good. Like, Arbiter looked good in, like, the Halo 2 cutscenes, even though that was, like, almost 20 years ago now. So, I think Halo Infinite can improve. It sucks that a guy that had so much respect in the community is leaving, but these things happen, and maybe it's for the best. I don't know yet, but I'm going to leave it there. So thank you all for watching. Goodbye.